Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. In the Advent devotional that we provided for you, Kate Bowler had a devotion thinking about limited agency. And Kate Bowler is a professor at Duke Divinity. She's a theologian, and she also had a cancer diagnosis some years ago and is currently still undergoing treatment. So she is essentially living with cancer, and the disease is kept in control because of the medications that she continues to take. So I appreciate how that experience has shaped her outlook on life. And in the devotional, which was Monday's devotional, she asked the question, how much control do you think you have over your own life? And she provided a scale on which you could, tick an answer. And at the bottom of the scale was nothing is possible. And at the top of the scale was everything is possible. A healthy answer lies somewhere in between, maybe just like exactly in between, or, depending on the day, a little higher or lower, that we should feel in life that some things are possible for us and be at peace with that. I don't imagine that that's a popular point of view because we live in a country that encourages us to think that we have endless possibilities open to us at all times. And I've heard it said, the only thing that can stop you is your own self-limiting belief about what's possible for you. And that's something that we are invited to teach our children and to raise them with the idea that they can absolutely have anything, be anything, do anything. And it's especially true, as I said on Sunday, or intimated on Sunday, for people, and I'll include myself in this, for people who have privilege and who can often shape the world to be like we want it to be. Kate Bowler, on the other hand, said this in an interview that I watched with her. She said, I have learned more from being limited than I did from pretending to be unlimited. And then she added with a rueful laugh, but I really do miss that pretending to be unlimited, because recognizing our limitations is challenging. I said in my introduction, if you read the introduction I wrote for the Beacon Light, that I was going to connect this to peacemaking, and I am, but recognizing our limitations contributes to peacemaking. I have had experiences of confronting my own limits myself, my mortality, my physical limits and abilities, my intellectual abilities. I'm not the smartest person that ever lived. This is not a news flash to any of you, I'm sure. I'm not the most physically capable person that has ever lived, and one day I am going to die. But these were not all things that I was raised to understand or believe. I confronted my mortality for the first time when I had a cancer diagnosis of my own. It was melanoma and it was serious, but I survived it and didn't need any follow-up treatment or anything. So not nearly as serious as what many cancer diagnoses call for, but it was moments of confronting my own mortality. I confronted my own mortality when my mother died this past year. Confronting my physical abilities has happened at times when I have had surgery, or times that I have simply not been able to do something that I want to do. And I think that will happen more and more as I age. But those are experiences that have helped me grow and mature and have a deeper understanding of what's important about life and what is wonderful and beautiful about having to be dependent on other people and recognizing our interdependence. When I had surgery and I simply had to accept help from other people because I could not get up the stairs without it. I could not cook for my family, and they didn't always want to cook either. And so we accepted meals from other people. And it made space in my life for other people to jump into it with me in ways that they simply couldn't when I was trying to be all self-sufficient and still probably too often tried to be all too self-sufficient. And then seeing other people being so willing to offer help and to be present in grace-filled ways gave me opportunity to just have a heart that was filled with gratitude more often than not. And I also realized in those moments that there was simply so much outside of my control in my life, whether I wanted to recognize it or not. It was a fact. And so better to recognize it and grapple with that than try to pretend that that's not the case. So all of that contributes to our ability to be peacemakers as well. And it does that because we realize that we can only have influence within a pretty small sphere. I think that the way our world is globally connected, and social media plays a part in this, and the 24-hour news cycle and our ability to get news from so many places enables us to think that we could have influence on a really, really broad scale. And I don't believe that's true. I really believe that our influence extends only within a very small sphere. And it really is only over ourselves. We are really the only person over whom we have any control. And I think that when we recognize our limitations and our limited agency and seek to be at peace with that, it enables us to be less materialistic and less greedy, and to need less acclaim, and to need less control over other people and even over our own lives. So I think we can and absolutely should advocate for peace on the large scale, but the only place that we have control in making peace is within ourselves and within our own relationships. But if each person did that, sought to have peace within themselves and in their relationships, then we would have a peace-filled world. The Apostle Paul acknowledges all of this in his letter to the church in Rome when he says, "Do not repay anyone evil for evil, but take thought for what is noble in the sight of all. If it is possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave room for the wrath of God. For it is written, 'Vengeance is mine, I will repay,' says the Lord. Instead, if your enemies are hungry, feed them. If they are thirsty, give them something to drink. For by doing this, you will heap burning coals on their heads. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." Recognizing that our agency is limited, but that God's agency is unlimited, is, I believe, an important step in enabling us to be peacemakers in the world. This Sunday is the second Sunday of Advent, and we light the peace candle as a witness and a proclamation that one day, we trust, there will be peace in the world through our limited agency and through God's all-powerful agency. It will happen. Thanks for listening today. Bye.